Hi, Saddi. When you have a new group of guys, mostly Hunter, the only returning starter, how do you get them to mesh defensively, and how do you think they've been doing so far this year?
Well, I think that's a challenge that you have every year, and unless you're returning the majority of your team, certainly game experience helps. So, the challenge of just trying to build and create good habits on both sides of the ball so that when you get in the game and get into live play, it just becomes instinctual for you. And I think that, over the course of the season, we've had some good and some challenging moments. And, that's what the preseason is about, trying to, build those habits and clean things up so that by the time you get into conference play, you're a bit more well-oiled machine as you move forward.
Anyone else? Feel free just to jump in, please.
Saddi, hey, do you have an update on Jalen's health status?
You know what, Jalen, it's tough to see him go down in the game. When I saw him yesterday, he was in great spirits. And, we're just going to continue to rally around him. Obviously we got, some of the best medical staff in the world, and, we're just going to rely on them. And but I also think, and guys know it's a great opportunity, for the next man up for, however long Jalen ends up being out. But the kid has handled adversity before. And, we're going to do everything we can to support him right now.
Regardless, I guess, of whether he misses any time or how much time he misses, what have you made of Doug's play so far? And, how ready would he be to potentially take on a bigger role here early in his freshman season?
Yeah, I think Doug has come along pretty well. He's been a great spark plug for us off the bench. He's been tremendous in terms of his willingness to learn. He's a great competitive kid, able to change the pace of the game with his speed and his quickness. And, we're confident that if his role needs to increase, that, we'll bring him along like we have every other guy.
Thanks.
Saddi, I know you have scouts for specific games, but do you look at the Big Ten as a whole? And if you have, what are your early impressions of the conference?
Yes, I mean, you take little blinks of teams, along the way, in between being locked into, your next opponent. But I just think that our league is as tough as it's ever been. The parity across the board is going to make for a very interesting run. And I think at the end of the day, those teams that are able to have the most consistency throughout the season and survive the highs and the lows of the competition within our league will have the opportunity to be the last man standing. All of our goals are in front of us, and we have a great opportunity tomorrow night against a good Minnesota team to take some steps forward. So you want to win as many or at least put yourself in position to win as many games, and especially any home games that you can get are a big plus in this league for sure.
Looking towards tomorrow's game, what challenges do you expect Minnesota's offense to present? And what have you guys been working on defensively to try to neutralize that?
Well, they can really shoot the ball. I mean, they have some really experienced veteran guys in Cooper and Battle and Garcia, and really good young talent in Payne. So they do possess the ability to be able to score inside and out. I think for us, we got to just continue to, be consistent with our defensive habits and our defensive principles, making them shoot contested shots and then ultimately finishing the possessions with rebounds. And then on the other side of the ball, just, stepping up, being confident with our shot making ability and being able to play inside and out.
Hey, Saddi. Over your career, you've been with many coaches, Nate Oates, Greg, John Beilein. What is some new things you may have learned as a coach and as a leader, and from coaching and leadership now with a couple years with Juwan?
Man, it's been a tremendous experience for me. He's such a great connector of people, and just learning and absorbing a lot of the NBA sets and philosophy and principles have been great for my personal growth. I think that his ability to, coach out of ATOs and seeing that dynamic has been, pretty eye-opening for me as it relates to, different coaches' mindsets and how they prepare for games and things like that. So, I know that I've been very fortunate to be able to work with some great people in building my own personal craft. And, I'm very thankful and grateful to be here at Michigan, and moving forward, whatever opportunities come, it will be a culmination of all the people that I've been able to work for and with.
Saddi, assuming or thinking that Jalen might not be able to go for at least a couple games, is it just a direct, Doug McDaniel takes over point guard roles, or do you guys kind of try out running the offense maybe through a Kobe, through Hunter or something like that?
Well, it'd definitely be by committee. I mean, if you've watched enough games, we've run a lot through Hunter, so that's not going to change. But different guys certainly will have to step up and assume some different roles. Rotational guys off the bench. We'll see probably some earlier different opportunities. So, you kind of, during the course of the summer and the year, you kind of prepare for things like this when, whether it's injury, whether it's foul trouble, you got to be ready to pivot, to the next guy. We challenge our guys every game. Like, everybody's accountable to the scouting report. Everybody is supposed to be locked in to what we're doing so that if and when your name gets called, you can hit the ground running. And so those that, really embrace that will have the opportunity to do so.
Hey, Saddi, I guess just sticking with that thought, I guess just how comfortable would you guys be putting, Kobe and Jet in more, I guess, ball screen situations if, Jalen's out and Doug, maybe he's not on the floor and they have to kind of maybe initiate the offense for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think we will be pretty confident with that. I mean, throughout the season, throughout the summer, both have been in that role and both continue to grow in their ability to play with the ball in their hands and play out a ball screen. So, yeah, will it be a different look for us a little bit? Yeah, it'll be a different look from a game perspective, maybe, but and just in terms of their ability to read the game and see the game and make decisions, I think there's a comfortability with them individually and then with us collectively as a group.
And then going back to Doug, I guess just where have you seen him grow the most, I guess, just over this first month of the regular season?
Just overall, I think it's a big transition for most young players when they can kind of do and be anything that they want in high school, and then make the transition to college where, there's probably more accountability. You got to really focus on the details. And I think that he's really been trying hard to focus on the details on both offensively and defensively. And, he's had a great opportunity to watch Jalen and others, do it and do it right. And so, you just hope that a kid takes all of that in so that when his moment comes, now he can be his authentic self. And, Doug, the talent is dynamic, and we're going to need him, to continue to take steps forward, whether Jalen's around or not.
Right. And I guess with Doug, obviously he's a blur with the ball. I guess how much have you guys been working with him not going 100 miles an hour all the time and maybe changing speeds?
Yeah, I mean that's part of the growth, you know, like you got to be able to change pace. But you know, I guess it's one of those things. It's a blessing and something that needs to be controlled at times. But at the end of the day, like, you know, I think he's getting a better understanding of that. And you know, as the season progresses, I think he will, you know, take some steps forward.
And last one for me, you were out on the floor after Jalen went down there in that Kentucky game. On the play, it didn't look good. It looked like a non-contact injury. I guess just what was your initial thought? Did you think it was a pretty significant serious injury?
Well, I was just praying for him, honestly, to be authentically honest. Like I was praying for him. And, you know, like I do any player of ours that goes down. And, you know, we've all been a part of this sport. And we know that sometimes injury is a part of it, whether it's a short-term or long-term thing. And, you know, Jalen, the kid, is such an amazing kid. And in that moment, you know, it's not about the game, it's about the individual. And, you know, we just want to make sure that Jalen is okay physically and mentally. And so, yeah, that's what I was doing. I was praying for him.
Hey, Saddi, with changes to the college athletics scene, specifically around NIL, have you seen your tactics and strategies as a recruiter change over these last couple of years at all?
Not really. I mean, like, for me, the main thing still has to be the main thing, right? Like, you're here to come to Michigan to be a student athlete. And, you know, I think was been well documented. We're all advocates of NIL and guys being able to profit off of their name, image, and likeness. But at the end of the day, we're in a results-based profession, you know, both academically and athletically. And so as much as we can keep guys focused on that, I think that's, you know, really kind of where my focus from a recruiting standpoint is. And as we as an institution and as we as a NCAA body, you know, grow with this NIL thing, it's not going away. So embrace it, but also try to, again, keep our kids in-house and future prospects, like focus on the main thing.